Hello, guys. This is Becca and sweet little Deborah Sue, Mama's little Debbie. Mama's little Debbie. We are here for Rocking with Becca today. This is Saturday, and I do declare I just did a Rocking with Becca video. Are we sure this is Saturday? Get in, Mom. Go get on the bed. Go get on the bed. Mama's doing the video. Excuse me, guys. Are we really sure this is Saturday? Because I feel like we just did Rocking with Becca. But anyway, we are here today. And if you're new to my channel and you don't know what Rocking with Becca is, if you haven't had a chance to explore my videos yet, Rocking with Becca is a series of videos that I do on Saturday. And it's where I sit in my rocking chair, rocking a baby, and we talk about several different things. First of all is I share the baby of the day, which today is Deborah. And then I do a shout out for a channel that is under 1,000 subscribers. I like to try to help out the smaller channels because I remember how it was when I was starting my channel and trying to get more subscribers and more people interested in my channel. So I try to help out the smaller channels when every Saturday I shout out a different channel. Lately I've also been doing Small Doll and Stuffy Saturday, and that collab is hosted by Alicia over at Binky's and Blanky's Nursery. I always put her link in the description of the video, and I do something for that. And then we have a topic that we talk about on Rocking with Becca. Different topic each week. Now I may go back to topics that I've previously talked about, but I don't do it consecutively. I can't say the word this morning. I'm sorry. Sorry. But anyway, I yawn a lot. So please forgive me for my yawning. I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. So I don't have to say, excuse me every time I yawn. I don't mean to be rude. I just have a problem with yawning. And so I do. Sometimes it's worse than others. So, my baby girl here is with Mommy today. And she is actually dressed for my color theme for today, which is purple. She is dressed for Purplelicious Saturday. She has on a little purple romper, and look how pretty it is. It's just gorgeous. It has a little bow right here, has frills, lacy frills in the front. She has on some little purple hair clips. She's barefoot today. I totally meant to put her on some socks or shoes or slippers or something, and I messed around and didn't do it. So she's barefoot today. But that's my sweet little Deborah, and she's dressed for Purplelicious Saturday. Also, Rocking with Becca is usually a lengthy video. One of my most lengthy videos that I do. So I always suggest that you pause the video right here and go grab you a snack or a hot cup of coffee or tea or a glass of iced tea or a soda or whatever your drink of choice is. Grab you something to drink and sit back and relax. And use this for your mid-morning break to rest a minute before you know, get up and get started doing something else. Now, I have my coffee, so it's kind of like a coffee chat. I will be pausing occasionally to get a sip because I don't want it to get too cold. So, I guess I'm kind of slow this morning. I don't really feel like I got my nap out through the night. I don't know, so I may be justified with my yawning today because I don't know, I just feel tired. But, I always do rocking Rebecca right after I get up and get dressed and get the house straightened up. So I don't really have, my blood's really not flowing that much, yet. I haven't been doing very much. All I've done this morning was got dressed, make up the bed, ate my breakfast, took my meds, and then come in here and prepared for the video. So I haven't really done a lot to get my blood flowing yet, so that could be some of why I feel so tired on Rockin' Rebecca videos. I didn't think about that until just now. But it's early morning and I hadn't really got to moving yet. So, anyway, let me take another sip of coffee. All right, let's get right into our preliminaries, I like to call it. I've told you the baby of the day. Our shout out today. For our shout out today, this subscriber, she shares her dolls as well as her crafting on her video. She doesn't have two different videos. I follow her for crafting and for her dolls. And her channel name is Mary Jo's Crafting and Dolls. I will have her link in the title of this video, so you can go click on it and go check her out. I checked it this morning before I come on. She has 599 subscribers. So, if you don't mind, maybe you could go over and check out her channel and see if she would be someone you would like to watch. And if so, subscribe to her if you're not already. And let her know I sent you. That is Mary Jo's Crafting and Dolls. So, that is our shout out. Now, for the Small Dolls and Stuffy Saturday, like I said, that is hosted by Alicia over at Binky's and Blanky's Nursery. I will have her link and hashtag in the description of this video. And what you do for her collab is you share small dolls that's like under 18 inches, sort of like fashion dolls, like American Girl, Willie Wisher, Blythe, any of your smaller type dolls, Barbie dolls, anything like that, small dolls, little small baby dolls, whatever you have that's under 18 inches. And you can also share your stuffies, which would consist of little bitty stuffies or huge stuffies. She said there's no limit on how big or how small for the stuffy part. It's just you're sharing your stuffies. She wanted to do this collab so she could have a chance to share like her Cabbage Patch dolls, her, you know, Rainbow High dolls, the different types of dolls that she collects, and her stuffies, because she herself loves stuffies. And so, but for the stuffy, she said there was no limit on size. So you will find Alicia's link and hashtag in the description of this video. So be sure to go over and check her out, see what she's doing today. And I'm going to share with you a stuffy today. I've been sharing with you my smaller dolls, like my Cabbage Patch, my different type dolls other than baby dolls. I've been sharing them with you quite a bit lately, and haven't brought a stuffy on in a while. I do have stuffies. I'm not as big into stuffies as I am into dolls, but I do love stuffies. And I have one that actually goes to bed with me at night. Actually goes to bed with me at night. So I'm going to share with you my stuffy that I sleep with at night. And he is big. He's a big bear. He is a big bear. This is my bedfellow. So I put him on the outside edge of the bed, and he makes me feel like, you know, I've slept with either a pillow or a stuffy between me and the outside of the edge of the bed, that now if I don't have something like that, I kind of feel like I'm going to roll off the bed. But I love to put him right beside me in the bed. And I even use him as a prop, you know, prop my arm up on when I'm, you know, looking on my phone before I go to sleep, or when I turn over on my left side, I'll poke him up under my back. Kind of, he's just my, I guess, I don't know, sort of like a security blanket. He's my security bear, and I love him. And he is quite big, so I'm glad she said we could share those that are big. And I told hubby that I wanted I told him a stuffed dog. I was thinking of one that kind of like laid down, that I could put beside me and be like it was laying down beside me, but he couldn't find a dog. I guess stuffed dogs is not, you know, teddy bears were the first things, I guess, that come out. You can find a lot of teddy bears, but other type animals, it's kind of hard to find. And he couldn't find a dog like I was talking about that, you know, was big enough that I could, you know, sort of like a big pillow beside me. And so he got the bear, and I love it. I love the bear. He's so soft and so cuddly and so comfy, and he's like my security blanket, but he's my security bear. And I sleep with him at night. Yes, I sleep with him at night. So that is my stuffy for small dolls and stuffy. Get my baby back up here with me. So guys, that's that. I want to give you a little bit of update on my health. My sugar. I had gotten it down to where it was staying around 160 something every morning when I'd get up. past week or so, of course, I have been eating a little bit differently. Um, Hubby brought home last Sunday, he brought home some mashed potatoes and gravy. And I have found that potatoes is a big no-no. Big no-no. So, after eating the mashed potatoes and gravy, Sunday, when I got up Monday morning and took my sugar, it was above 200. I think like 218, something like that. And it took it, I didn't eat no more of that type of stuff, but it took 2 mornings. It was 2 something Monday morning and 2 something Tuesday morning. Wednesday morning it come back down under 200. It didn't get down to 160, but it come down to 180 something. And it was staying in 180 something. Then Thursday night, I decided I wanted to eat a little Debbie Swiss cake roll that comes in 2 in the pack. I ate both of them. I got up yesterday morning and my sugar was up above 200 again. So I decided I wasn't going to eat any more of the, little Debbie cakes for a while. So I didn't eat any last night. But when I got up this morning, it was still above 200. When I mess up and it shoots it up like that, it takes a couple of days to get it back down. So it was still above 200 this morning, even though I didn't eat any sweet cakes last night. But I can't vary from the diabetic diet at all. If I vary from that diet, my sugar shoots up. And like I said, it takes 2 or 3 days to get it back down, to a decent number. And it's just so frustrating and aggravating that, I can't vary at all. I can't splurge at all. And even if it's just one time, one treat, like I call it a treat, like the mashed potatoes and gravy. I just had it that one meal, and I didn't just overindulge in it. I just ate a normal helping of mashed potatoes and gravy, along with the other things that was okay for me to eat. And then I get up the next morning and my sugar's above 200. I don't know. It's just not fun. It's just not fun. And also, lately, I lose my balance a lot. In the past 2 days, I've almost fell 3 or 4 times. One time, I was combing my hair in the bathroom, reaching to get my clip, put it up, and when I turned around, I almost tumbled backwards. If it hadn't have been a close quarters that I could reach out and touch something to steady myself, I'd have went down there. Then last night, getting ready for bed, turned around and stumbled. I didn't fall, but I stumbled. So I know it was 3 times. It may have been 4. This morning was the 3rd time that I remember. There might have been another time yesterday. But I was getting dressed, getting ready to make up my bed, turned around to my chair, I think or I was standing at my chair and turned around to go make up the bed or something. I stumbled and almost fell. And that's happened 3 times for sure that I know of in the past 2 days. And it's getting a little scary. I don't feel dizzy. I just kind of like lose my balance and stumble and nearly fall. And I know Tammy over at Tater Tots Nursery, she's been having some falls lately, and it's just not good at our age. You know, she fell one time and had to have hip replacement, and it's scary. I'm trying to be more careful about when I turn around, not to turn around too fast and get my feet caught together, or just plain lose my balance and can't hold myself up, but even when I'm stumbled like that, I don't feel dizzy. It's not that I've gotten dizzy, I just simply lose my balance. And that's getting a little scary. But also, I wanted to tell you about what I'm trying to do for myself to better myself. Physically, I started Thursday, and I know to you that walk a lot, this sounds so little. But you need to realize I've been in the house. I don't get out. I don't do, what little bit of doing I do in the house, walking around in the house, straightening things up, you know, changing the babies, I'm sitting in the chair, crafting, I'm sitting in the chair, and the most walking I do, I fold my clothes and towels and everything in the washroom, and so I don't have this big basket I can put my towels in. I have just the little mesh type clothes baskets. Well, once I get my towels and washcloths folded, I can't put them in that mesh basket. So I fold them in there, and then I have to pick up each individual pile of, stack, like all the bath towels. Actually, I have to make two trips for the bath towels. But I take one stack of bath towels, walk from the craft room to the bathroom, which is not very big, but when you're not used to walking, to me it feels like by the time I get all my trips, I feel like I'm just about dead from all the walking. But I take 2 trips for the bath towels, a trip for the washcloths, and a trip for the hand towels. So that's walking back and forth. That's the most walking I get, and that's like 2 times a week that I do that. And when I do that, I'm hurting so bad, and I'm so out of breath, and it just nearly kills my hips and my joints and all. That's the most exercise I get. So, but, it actually got a little scary to me to think how little I can walk without it just nearly killing me. So, and it still gets hot outside, guys. This week it's kind of cooler than it's been being, but it's still this week it's supposed to be in the mid to upper 80s. It's been being in the upper 90s. And it's supposed to go back to the 90s next week. But it's just, I can't, with fibro and everything, I just can't handle the heat to get outside and walk. So, when I do go out, like to check the mail and walk to the mailbox, by the time I get back in, I can hardly put one foot in front of the other. And so I'm getting a little scared, it's getting scary. So Thursday I decided I am going to start walking in the house. I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. Yes, 5 minutes. Seems like nothing to you that walk and walk and walk. Get out and walk and do that and go shopping. 5 minutes is nothing to you. But to me, that's all I can get right now. And so Thursday and Friday, both days, I set my timer and just walked around in the house until the timer went off, 5 minutes. And by the 5 minutes was up, I was walking slow. My joints was hurting. I couldn't hardly put one foot in front of the other. But I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk for 5 minutes every day until I get to where it doesn't bother me. Then I'll up it a little bit. And do that until it don't bother me anymore. And I'm going to do my best to get some, exercise in. And then when it cools off, I can actually go outside and walk my time outside when it gets a little cooler. But I have got to do something because, I when I say I sit in this house, I do things. I clean the house. I play with my babies. I do my crafting. But, it's not really exercise. And so I have sit in the house until it's got to where I'm almost immobile. I can hardly walk very much at all. And so it's getting scary. So I'm going to do my best to get my exercise built up and be able to walk more than what I'm doing. So that is my update on my health and what's happening around here. I'm thinking I might on my craft channel. I've done it several times and would do it and then quit doing it and do it and quit doing it. But there's this family friend of mine that has a craft channel. And on Wednesdays, she does a video. She calls it Weight Loss Journey. I need to lose weight, want to lose weight, but my concern is my diabetes right now, trying to get it in control. And I have lost weight, a little bit of weight. Changing my eating habits for my diabetes, I have lost a little weight. But I'm sure if I could start getting some exercise, I probably could lose a little bit more. But what I was saying is I'm thinking about on Wednesdays on my craft channel to do the video like Miss Crafty Girl 42 does, which she calls it Weight Loss Journey. And because I will be participating in her collab, that's what I call it, is Weight Loss Journey. But I mainly tell my updates on my health, my diabetes, and I do tell if I gain or lose. I don't tell what I weigh, but I'll tell that, like if I gained a couple of pounds or I've lost a couple of pounds, I'll tell that. And I'm thinking about getting started doing that again. And maybe I can keep up with it this time, hopefully, and do a weekly update on how things are going with my health and all. So I'm thinking about doing that. Okay, so now the topic for today, I like to have a certain topic to talk on for Rocking with Becca, and I've even asked that you leave in the comments below some topics you would like for me to talk about. Well, I hadn't got a whole lot of response on that, but I have gotten, a couple of things. And I also, way back, I went on the internet and I put in on Google, I put, what questions can you ask a reborn doll collector? And so there were several questions, and so I copied and pasted to my documents, and I go in there every so often and pull one of those questions or topics or whatever you want to call it. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. It's one of those questions that I found on the internet. And the question is, or the topic is, however you want to state it, what do you do with your reborn dolls when they are not being displayed? It's kind of a backwards question from what I would ask. Because I would ask, what do you do with your reborn dolls when you're not interacting with them? So it's kind of backwards from the way I would ask it. But either way, it means the same thing, just worded differently. So, when my dolls are not being displayed, I'm interacting with them. They do, you know, I have a lot of dolls, so yeah, they have a lot of just display time where they're just sitting in their designated spot and waiting their turn again. So they do, you know, have more display time than they have interaction. But I interact with 1 to 2 dolls, sometimes 3. It's according to what themes are going on for the day. But it's very seldom that it's just one that I interact with. Although lately it has been more that than usual. But I interact with my dolls when they're not being displayed. And what do I mean by interacting with my dolls? Well, I'm going to tell you my routine. No matter what doll I have or how many I have. My routine with my babies is whichever dolls I have for the day. Once I get up in the morning time, get myself dressed, get my bedroom cleaned up, have my breakfast, taking my meds, all the morning things I have to do. Once I get that over with, the babies of the day, and most of the time it's at least 2 a day. I have a baby sitting over in the baby bed that I'll be doing a short video with later on. But most of the time it's 2 babies a day. And once I get all my morning routine, get myself dressed and ready for the day, I will bring my babies in here and I will dress them for the day. So I pick out their outfits, I pick out their shoes if I put shoes on them, I pick out their hair accessories, and I get them dressed and ready for the day. Then my bigger dolls that can set up, which she's this little girl, and I like her that way. I thought about trying to change her where she could sit down, but she's a standing doll. She doesn't have the joint in her legs that would make her where she could sit down. I think the only way I could make her sit down would be take some of her stuffing out where the cloth would bend and make her legs go out in front of her where she could sit down. But I kind of like her. She's I say the only standing doll. I have Louis and Louisa, but they can sit down. They have joints. They can sit down. Although they stand up most of the time. I leave them standing up. But her joint, she has no joint. It's just hooked to the cloth body and it won't, I'm sure if I knew how to do it, I'm sure I probably could make it where she could sit down. But I kind of like her because of the fact that she is a standing doll. She's the only doll I have that you have to leave standing. The only thing you can do with her is lay her down flat or stand her up. She can't sit. And I kind of like that. I like the pictures, you know, I like when I take her pictures, um, you know, that she can be standing. And she's the only doll besides Louis and Louisa that I can do that with. And I had an Ashton Drake doll, and I kind of, not really, but kind of, sometimes I think about it, about, uh, wished I hadn't got rid of him, but not enough to repurchase him. But his name was Liam. He's not the Liam sculpt. His name was Liam on Ashton Drake. And he was a standing doll. You could not make him sit down. And at the time, that bothered me. I did not like it that you couldn't make him sit down. You know, either he laid down or he stood up. That's all you could do with him. He was an Ashton Drake doll. And I sold him because I wasn't satisfied with that. And I've thought several times about trying to fix Deborah where she could sit down. But you know what I like about it? She feels more like a toddler because, you know, her legs is kind of spread out a little bit. I can sit her on my knee, you know, because her legs can, my knee kind of goes between her thighs, you know, and she's sitting on my knee. Or she can sit on the arm of the chair because her feet can go, you know, she straddles the arm of the chair. So she can sit like that. And, you know, that's what she's been doing up here with me, is sitting on the arm of the chair. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that. She's not a baby, so, you know, she don't need to fold up and cuddle up. Although I do cuddle with her, even though she's a standing doll. I cuddle with her at night when I'm sitting in the living room watching videos. I just simply take her and put her up here like this. Her legs are straight out. She, you know, she don't straddle my waist like the other dolls will. But I still cuddle with her. Her arms goes up around my neck, and she still, I like her like she is. I don't want to change her. I thought about changing her, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I like her as a standing doll. So, but when my dolls are not being displayed, I am interacting with them. Then after I get them ready for the day, like I said, the ones, I usually have a baby, like a newborn, 0 to 3 months, and a bigger doll that can open-eyed, you know. Some of my babies are closed-eyed, but the old, you know, like the bigger dolls, when I say bigger, they may not be bigger in size, but they're made to look to be bigger. They can, got their eyes open, they can sit up. I have one of them and one baby, which today I have both toddler type dolls today, just simply because Deborah's new, so I wanted to have triple days with her. Like I said, I usually have one small baby and one bigger baby a day. The bigger baby goes to the craft room with me. The small baby, after I get them dressed in the mornings, I sit here in my rocking chair and I rock them while I'm praying and snuggle with them. And then if I get through in my craft room and go back to the living room before around 5 o'clock, you know, like, so sometimes I'll get through in the craft room and go to the living room about 3:30 and, you know, start watching videos and things. Well, I'll take that smaller baby with me to have more time with it. And then about 5 o'clock, I put those babies away, or, you know, I'll keep out the one that's triple days and the days are not up yet. And then I'll trade out the one that I trade, you know, that I rotate and trade out, however you want to call it, switch out, whatever word you want to use there. And I get them ready for bed. Yes, I do this every night. I put them in PJs or nightgown or whatever type of sleeping clothes. Every now and then I'll leave them in a onesie if they have just a onesie on. But most of the time I put them in sleeping clothes, a sleeper, pajamas, nightgown, whatever it is, that I have for them to sleep in. And I get them ready for the night. We snuggle, you know, I snuggle with. Okay, around 5 o'clock. Yeah, I said that I switch out the babies. So I get them ready for the night, and that's the babies I'll have the next day. And when I go, we settle for the night, and we sit down in the living room to watch our videos and stuff. The baby is the one I snuggle with, then. And that is my everyday routine. That's what I do every day. So when my babies is not being displayed, it's because it's their day, their time. I have at least 2 babies most every day. And like I said, sometimes 3, like whenever it's pickle week, I will change a pickle baby, one of my pickle babies out. I'll change them for the theme a couple of times during pickle week, even though it might not be their day, to have interaction. I will bring them out and change them for the theme. On Wednesday, for Pico Wednesday, I always bring, if I'm participating in the theme, I'll bring my Poppy girl out. She's my Pika. I'll bring her out and change her for the theme and then put her back up if it's not her day. But yeah, I interact with at least 2 babies every day. Every day. And that's my everyday routine. And I love my babies. Matter of fact, I have had them so much and I've interacted with them so much that if I'm sitting in the living room at night when we're sitting around watching videos, if I just leave I always have it in the living room, whichever baby it is for the next day. I have it in the living room with me. And if I just leave it sitting over to the side and don't grab it, I feel so lost. I feel so empty. I feel like, oh no, and I'll grab my baby, and I have gotten so used to a baby in my arms that I don't like it when I don't have one in my arms. I know there's different types of dog collectors. There's some dog collectors that collects them for the beauty of the art, and they just display them. There's some that will go a little bit further and change them for different things, but then put them away after changing them. And then there's people like me that has a baby with them constantly. And I love my babies. I don't know. Since I've gotten big into it, I can't see myself being without a doll. I love my dolls, and I love having them and interacting with them. And I feel when I don't have one in my arms, I feel lost. I feel, like something's missing. So I do love my babies. And so when they're not being displayed, they are with mommy, snuggling with mommy, hugging with mommy, or sitting in the craft room with mommy right there at me where I can reach over and hug them or kiss them or whatever, they're right there with me. One is with me at all times. And since I've gotten Deborah, and I say, y'all know I say this every time I get a new baby, but I just feel like she's special. I feel like I want her with me all the time. But I know I can't have her with me all the time. We got to change out and have other babies and give the other babies attention. But I just love her. She's just, she's awesome. I just love her. She's so pretty. So, so, so pretty. Yes. So I thought I might talk on a little something else, but it's already 45 minutes into the video. Uh, I think I might just leave it at this today, and we'll talk about the other at another time. But anyway, I love all dolls. I don't care where they come from. As far as manufacturers, I love Ashton Drake. That's a manufactured doll. I love Paradise Galleries, and I'm a little concerned about that company. I really am. Uh, but I love Paradise Galleries dolls. And I love the dolls you can get off of Amazon. I love the authentic reborn dolls. Although I'm not able to purchase them anymore for right now. I do have one coming. I wasn't going to tell you, but uh, and I'm not sure it's authentic. I'll have to see. I don't remember if it has a COA or not. I did purchase it from an individual on Macari. So you'll be seeing that one when it comes in. I just love dolls. And yeah, I think I'm going to let you go for now. And we'll talk about this other part on another video because time is running out. So I am going to let you all go. I hope you have enjoyed this Rocking with Becca video today. I'd love to hear what you do with your dolls when they're not being displayed. Either in the comments below or do a video. And if you do a video talking about it, please tag me. So maybe YouTube will give me the notification where I can see your video. I'd love to watch it if you do one talking about this topic. Yeah. Alright guys, I guess that does it for today. I'm going to let you go for now. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, your Saturday and Sunday. Hope you get a lot of rest. Hope you're able to do things that's enjoyable and fun through the weekend. And yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.